boy, it's really great. You get to the Final Four, but there's a lot of work to be done.
Yeah, there's a lot of. I think that there's a lot of work to be done. Some wholesale changes that have to be made. There's going to be some decisions. There's going to be some people who don't come back. Some voids to fill. So I think at how they finish gives you an idea of how much work has to be done to be able to get back up here to this elite level, to be able to not only compete but to win. And I think they're well aware of that. And I think that they're willing to put forth the effort. It was nice to be able to get back in the postseason after 4 years. We become so accustomed to being in the postseason all the time that, it's weird when you're not. We've made it back. That was a step. So hopefully we'll continue to improve. We have some great arms in the organization. Now we got to learn how to pitch.
I've seen you with Paul DeYoung. I know he has some work to do offensively, but boy, he made some strides defensively. What did you try to do in your time with Paul?
It's just real simple, and he did that. He gives you that degree of consistency that you need at that position, making the routine play. And the great plays take care of themselves. And as you saw, he was a very, very reliable source. You need a person behind you, if you're a pitcher on the mound, who when you need a ground ball, if you get a ground ball, you're going to get it out. He was that guy.
You spent some time with Mike Schilt. What jumps out at you about him?
His preparation. I don't think that it wasn't because the guys weren't prepared. I think it took them a long time to get themselves on track, but it wasn't because they weren't prepared. He's a guy who is very thorough. He leaves no stone unturned. Now, with that being said, players still got to play. It's the players that, you got to go out there and you got to perform. And it took a long time for them to really find some consistency to their offense. I think he struggled early on trying to find that leadoff guy, that guy who was going to give him some consistency at the top of the lineup. And I think that as we go forward here and near the end of the year and right at the end there, I think we have a glimpse of who's going to be your leadoff hitter. I think Tommy Edman is one of those players that I can very soundly say that he could have played with us.
Really?
Yes.
Because he takes competitive at-bats like you guys.
That's right. He battles. He has an idea, and you have to have an idea. And he's one of those guys. I'm not worried about him. He's a good young player.
Okay. So now some quick ones here you can't hedge. All right. You were in great shape. Could you play shortstop for a few innings in the big leagues right now?
How many innings?
3 innings.
2.
And make plays?
Yes.
How often do you pick up a ground ball, by the way? At the Hall of Fame, or?
Yeah, I do that. I used to play in the All-Star game all the time. Bigger ball, easier to see. But no, I think it's like riding a bike. When you do what I do for as long as I did it, you never lose that. You lose range, you lose quickness and stuff, but the hands, still got them, Frank.
What would you have done if there wasn't a sport called baseball in this world?
Probably, it was with a teaching background. I enjoyed being around kids and stuff, so it would probably have been teaching something.
What celebrity were you stunned? They know who I am? They know all about me?
I've had the opportunity to meet a lot of celebrities and stuff.
Really
Denzel Washington. I had a chance to sit down at a cigar bar one night and hang out with Denzel, which was really cool because as an athlete we always have those people that that you admire from an acting standpoint. And he's certainly one of those people, and hanging out and him knowing who I was that's pretty cool.
Your last backflip was in what age?
41. And it wasn't pretty, Frank.
Your love of golf is well known. What would you rather have done? Be as good as you were at baseball, or say as good as Phil Mickelson is at golf?
I think I fell into what I was supposed to do. I think baseball was it. When I look back, I don't think I would have changed anything. I wish I had taken up golf a little bit earlier in my life. which is one of the reasons that I do PGA Reach, is because it gives kids, young kids, the opportunity to get exposed to the game and the business of golf, which if I had at a younger age, I'd probably be a lot further along than I am right now.
Number of times you've played Michael Jordan in golf, and who's won more often?
We've probably played maybe 10, 12 times, and he owes me money.
You got a $5,000 signing bonus when you signed with the Padres. Do you remember the first fun thing you bought?
Oh yeah, well, the very first thing that I bought, because I always had a old beat up, I bought myself a Chrysler LeBaron. I was on the road. I was in Walla Walla, Washington, in the Northwest League, and I bought my first car and I drove it home.
Wow. Are you more amazed that you became the greatest fielding shortstop of all time, or that you amassed 2,400 hits?
I don't know. The fact that the 2,400 hits, I never really gave a whole lot of thought to it, Frank, because I enjoyed what I did every day. I worked hard at it. I know I was blessed with great hand and eye coordination, and I knew that was going to be my ticket. And I never took that for granted. I continued to work hard at that, while at the same time I worked extremely hard to be as good an offensive player as I was a defensive player. And I think that that's the difference today with players. You can be a one-dimensional player today and be successful. Back in the day, our generation of players, it was about being a complete player on both sides of the ball, offensively and defensively. And when I sat and talked with people like Tony Gwynn, Cal Ripken, we were all working to be better at the thing that we were not good at. Tony Gwynn wanted to win himself a Gold Glove at some point in time. Cal Ripken, great offensive player, wanted to win himself a Gold Glove at some point in time. And I certainly wanted to win myself a Silver Slugger at one time, which I was able to accomplish in 1987.
Describe your first baseball glove. It was homemade, correct?
Yeah, well, I had to play by myself a lot, and we didn't have a whole lot. And I'm not going to harp on that, because it's not about what you have, it's what you do with the opportunity when it presents itself. And so enjoying the game as much as I did, and realizing I had good hand and eye coordination, I had a brown paper bag that I took with a tennis ball. And that was my imaginary glove, and that's really how I, learned to play by myself. I just put the paper bag on there, made a little pocket, and I used to throw the ball up against the wall, and that's how I entertained myself.
Who's the next best defensive shortstop, or a shortstop that you watch and you think, wow?
I've said for a long time, and I get a chance through the Rawlings Gold Glove Awards to go and present every year in New York. And I've had a chance to see Brendan Crawford with San Francisco, who reminds me a lot of DeYoung. And he reminds me a lot of DeYoung because of his degree of consistency out there in the field, making the routine play day in and day out. The kid from Cleveland, Lindor, is up and coming. I think he has a lot of range, and he plays the game with a lot of enthusiasm and has a lot of fun. And you can tell that he enjoys what he's doing, because he always has that smile, a wonderful smile that lights up the room. So Brendan Crawford, I think from guys that had just come up when I finished playing, I think has done a great job with San Francisco in the years that they were successful. I think that he had a big part in the success that they had.
Can you go anywhere in our town without being recognized?
Yeah, sometimes. Anonymity is good, but when you reach the heights that we have, especially here in this baseball town, it's hard to. You're never going to erase that anonymity. So I get recognized quite a bit, but people respect my time and space and stuff, and it's cool.
I've never seen you turn down an autograph. Am I correct on this?
You might be right, but here again,
Why?
I
Why
tell
do you never turn it down?
it's because if this is going to be the only chance that a person has to meet me, I want that experience to be a pleasant one. You hear all of the bad stories about, that was one of my favorite players, but my kid went up and asked me for an autograph, and he said no. So I don't ever want that to happen, So I make it a point that if I have time, that if people want an autograph, then I give it to them.
What goals do you have left in your life?
Oh, to live to the ripe age of 100 and still be able to play golf and shoot under 80.
That's good. A few more. Two last ones. Whitey Herzog's impact on your life and career?
Well, it changed my life. You know, his trip out to San Diego, I think, changed the course of my life. It gave me the opportunity to experience what I think all of us strive for, you know, to feel what winning is all about, or give yourself the opportunity to win. And I certainly got that coming here. This was I don't know if there was any better baseball town for anybody to be a part of.
And finally, let's just say there's a father and a son, and they're seeing you on the golf course, and the son says to the dad, "Who's that?" What would you want the father to say about you?
Well, I would want him to say that, you know what, that's one of the nicest people that you're ever going to meet. And, you know, a lot of times they have the kid come over and say hi and stuff. And one of the things that I express to the kid is, you know, he tells me how old he is, where he goes to school. And one of the things that I ask him is, how's your grades? Because that's probably more important than anything. At working hard in school and getting good grades and trying to get yourself as good an education as you can, because sports doesn't last forever and there is an afterlife.